Welcome back, everyone, to another technical analysis. And today's topic is Pancake swap coin. Now, on the bigger time frames, we caught this nice small dip here to the lower zones. And now, taking a look at 4 hour time frame, we have had a nice small bounce from here, touching this 200 EMA on the 4 hour time frame, getting back to this trend line here, and seeing again some kind of buyer's overtake zone. But what's concerning us is this 200 EMA, which first time declined the price, formed a CME gap, went for retest to lower zones, and currently failed again the retest. Now, overall on the bigger time frame, so let's call the 4 hour time frame the bigger time frame, we have to see, or we don't have to, but if we see a break of this zone, then we would go into a long position with stop loss being very tight because we are approaching the end phase of this triangular pattern. And I will explain pretty fast what the triangular pattern means. Is give me, where's the path here? So let's say we bounce up, we bounce down, we bounce up, we bounce down, we bounce up, and we continue to form like these kind of movements, which means that this trend here will continue and it will tighten the gap in where the price can break out or break down from. It pressures the price and eventually we'll see a very sharp breakout or a very sharp breakdown. But this is a longer play that we have to see and wait. For now, on the bigger time frame, stop loss would be closer to this zone once we see a full overtake from the buyers from this 200 EMA line and breakout structure forming from this, like, let's call it a $2 price mark. Then we're going to go for not the upper zone but this smaller lower zone, so $2.8 mark. But on the smaller time frames, now calling the smaller time frames, I mean 1 hour time frame, we are seeing, as mentioned already, this. Let me take and highlight this zone here. So this is the 200 EMA on the 4 hour time frame line that is more significant than hourly time frames EMAs. But overall, we're seeing some sort of weakness kicking in, and we had a nice downward movement. Here we formed a market structure break. Price went full on to the upper zones, full liquidity sweep. Let's call it a short squeeze. And now we can expect the price to fall back to lower zones because this kind of movement that we had here. So you can see bullish, 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 strongly bullish liquidity grab, continuing bullish movement, giving a fake signal to the buyers, smaller liquidity grab, and now moving to lower zones on the 30-minute time frame. We see that there is, let's go in like 5-minute time frame. We see that there has been formed a market structure break, and market structure break happened right here. So it's hard to call an exact point on the smaller time frames for the market structure break, but overall we had a breakout, retest, smaller breakdown, but it wasn't a proper one. Although retest, continuing to go to lower zones. Now we can expect a smaller movement again to the upper zones here, but overall this is already a pretty clean signal for us that there might be pretty good possibility of the movement to happen to lower zones, so 1.8 and 2. In this case, we would go, let's call short here, stop loss would be here, and target would be, we can go in lower because it was, let's go into the middle line. So risk and reward ratio is 1 to 2, but the thing is multiple entries, so dollar cost averaging the position is the best way. So first entry, let's call this one the second entry, and this one here the third entry for the coin movement. And this is basically that we see on the Pancake swap coin. On the smaller time frames, we see that there is a great chance of seeing a downward movement to lower zones. And going on the 4 hour time frame, we see that there is a high chance of seeing, not seeing, but either way, even if you go to lower zones here, as mentioned, then eventually we have to see at least some sort of movement to the upper zones. So something like this. So that's it for the Pancake Swap coin. As always, I hope you like this video and see you in the next one.